أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي ربي يسر ولا تعسر وتمم بالخير آمين يا رب العالمين.
In this lecture, we will study the following. First of all, we will study negation in fi'il mudare. And next, we will study how to use fi'il mudare in question form. Before we proceed, let us do some revision. And we will use the example of the root letters kha, dal, and ain. Using the pattern identifier fa, we have the following result. Khada'a, yakhda'u. Khada'a is fi'il mazi, meaning he deceived, and yakhda'u is fi'il mudare, which means he deceives or he will deceive. Using the pattern of khada'a, yakhda'u, we can use the example of yakhda'una. Yakhda'una is fi'il mudare. It refers to the third person, masculine and plural cell. And yakhda'una can be translated as they deceive or they will deceive. Let us now study the following table for yakhda'una. If we take yakhda'una and we add seen with zabar on it, we will get the result of sayakhda'una. Sayakhda'una can be translated as they will deceive. Please note that with the addition of this seen, now we are associating the meaning with the future tense. Similarly, if we add saufa to yakhda'una, we will get the result saufa yakhda'una. And similar to the example above, the translation of saufa yakhda'una will also be they will deceive. So once again, we are associating the translation with the future tense. This gives us the result that the addition of this seen and saufa to fi'il mudare will create the meaning in the future tense. Next, we have the example of qad. We studied previously that qad is used to add emphasis to fi'il mudare. Qad plus yakhda'una will give us qad yakhda'una. And qad yakhda'una will be translated as they certainly deceive. Now we are associating the translation with the present tense and we are adding emphasis. So because of the presence of qad, we are adding emphasis and qad yakhda'una will be translated in the present tense. Finally, we can add noon saqila, which is noon with the shadda symbol on it, and yakhda'una plus noon saqila will become yakhda'unna. Yakhda'unna will be translated as they will certainly deceive. So the noon saqila is adding emphasis and it is also associating the translation with the future tense. To summarize, the addition of this seen, saufa and noon saqila will associate the translation with the future tense, and the addition of qad, which is used to add emphasis, will associate the translation with the present tense. We will further work on the example of yakhda'una. Yakhda'una is fi'il mudare referring to third person, masculine and plural. Yakhda'una means they deceive or they will deceive. Now let us study how to create negation in fi'il mudare. This is an example of fi'il mudare. Please recall that negation was created in fi'il mazi by adding ma. So we used ma with fi'il mazi or fi'il in the past tense to create negation. Please note that ma is also used to create negation in fi'il mudare. But there is an important point to note. When fi'il mudare is negated using ma, then fi'il mudare can only be used in the present tense. This is a very important point. Even though we used ma with fi'il mazi to create negation, we can still use ma with fi'il mudare to create negation. But when we use ma with fi'il mudare to create negation, in that case, the fi'il mudare will only be used in the present tense. Let us look at an example from the Holy Quran in Surah number 2, ayah number 9, we have the following. They think to deceive Allah and those who believe, but they deceive not except themselves and perceive it not. So here we see the use of ma on two occasions. Ma is followed by yakhda'una, similar to what we see here, and ma is followed by yash'uruna. Yakhda'una is fi'il mudare, yash'uruna is fi'il mudare. Ma is used to create negation in both examples. In the case of ma yakhda'una, they deceive not, and it is referring to the present tense. And ma yash'uruna, they perceive it not, and it is also referring to the present tense. To summarize, ma can be used to create negation in fi'il mudare, and when ma is used with fi'il mudare, then that fi'il mudare's translation will be associated with the present tense. Let us revise our table of associating fi'il mudare with the present versus the future tense. Qad was used to add emphasis to fi'il mudare, and when we use qad with fi'il mudare, then the translation and the meaning of fi'il mudare will only be in the present tense. Nun saqila was used to add emphasis to fi'il mudare, but nun saqila at the end of fi'il mudare will only associate the meaning of fi'il mudare with the future tense. Lam at the beginning of fi'il mudare is also used to add emphasis to fi'il mudare, but the use of lam will associate the meaning of fi'il mudare with the present tense. The addition of this sin with the zabar on it at the start of fi'il mudare will associate the meaning with the future tense. Similarly, addition of sawfa at the start of fi'il mudare will also associate its meaning with the future tense. And finally, we just studied that ma is used to create negation in fi'il mudare, and the addition of ma at the start of fi'il mudare will associate the meaning of that negation with the present tense. Another way to create negation in fi'il mudare is by the addition of la. So one way to create negation in fi'il mudare is by adding ma at the start of fi'il mudare, and another way to create negation in fi'il mudare is by using la. Please note that when la is added to fi'il mudare to create negation, fi'il mudare can be used in both the present tense or the future tense. So here we have flexibility that with the use of la with fi'il mudare, the negation can either be in the present tense or in the future tense. Let us look at a few examples. We have la yanzuru. La yanzuru can be translated as he does not see or he will not see. In this case, we should note that the translations are both in the present tense and in the future tense. La yanzuruna. They do not see, they will not see. Once again, the possible translations can be both in the present tense or future tense. Let us return to our updated table of use of fi'il mudare, present versus future tense. Qad at the start of fi'il mudare, lam of emphasis at the start of fi'il mudare, ma at the start of fi'il mudare will associate the meaning of that fi'il mudare only with the present tense. Nun saqila, which is noon with the shadda symbol on it, at the end of fi'il mudare, this sin at the start of fi'il mudare and sawfa at the start of fi'il mudare will associate the meaning of fi'il mudare only with the future tense. And finally, la at the start of fi'il mudare, la which is used to create negation in fi'il mudare, will associate the translation and the meaning of that negation either with the present tense or with the future tense. Next, we will study how to make fi'il mudare into a question. Please recall that there are two kinds of questions, and we studied these kinds of questions previously. Number one, questions that can be answered as yes or no. And for these questions, we use huruf-e istifham to ask such questions. And these huruf-e istifham are hamza and hal. And then there are questions that cannot be answered as yes or no. And to ask such questions, we use asma istifham. So huruf istifham, that is hamza or hal, are used to ask questions that can be answered as yes or no. And in order to ask questions that cannot be answered as yes or no, we use asma istifham. Here we have la yanzuruna. Yanzuruna is fi'il mudare, and by adding la at the beginning of fi'il mudare, we are creating negation. La yanzuruna can be translated as they do not see or they will not see. Not is being used here because of the effect of la. And the important point to note is that the addition of la at the beginning of fi'il mudare will either give us the translation in the present tense or in the future tense. They do not see is in the present tense and they will not see is in the future tense. Now, if we want to convert la yanzuruna into a question form, we can add hamza istifhamiya or one of the huruf istifham, which is hamza, at the beginning of la yanzuruna, and we will get the result ala yanzuruna. Do they not see or will they not see? So here we see that the translation is again possible both in the present and the future tense, and now we have question forms for they do not see or they will not see. Please note a special mention for the use of fa. Fa means so. Please note that fa can also be used with hamza or hal. As we recall, hamza and hal are huruf istifham, which are used to make questions that can be answered as yes or no. Let us look at some specific examples. When fa is used with hamza or hamza istifhamiya, then it will be used after the hamza. An example can be found in the Holy Quran in Surah number 88, ayah number 17, where we see, so do they not look at the camels, how they are created? In the beginning, we have, so do they not look? And in the ayah, we have, afala yanzuruna. Yanzuruna is fi'il mudare. La is coming at the beginning of fi'il mudare to create negation. And this is the hamza that is making the question, and it is followed by the fa that we are referring to here. So the fa in this case is being used after the hamza. Afala yanzuruna. So do they not look? Fa creates the meaning of so, and do they not look is la yanzuruna. And the question form is being created because of the use of hamza istifhamiya at the beginning. The next scenario is when fa is used with hal. So when fa was used with hamza, then we studied that fa will always come after the hamza. But when fa is used with hal, then it is always used before hal. We have an example from the Holy Quran, Surah number 54, ayah number 17. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in this ayah, and we have certainly made the Quran easy to remember. So, is there anyone who will be mindful? In this example, fa is used to create the meaning of so. Hal creates the question. Hal is from the huruf istifham, and we clearly see that in this example, hal is being used after the fa. In the example above, hamza istifhamiya was used before the fa. So in this case, fa is coming after. In the next example, fa is coming before hal. To recap, huruf istifham are used to create questions that can be answered as yes or no. Huruf istifham are hamza and hal. Huruf istifham can be used with fi'il mudare to create questions. Fa can also be used with huruf istifham. Fa can be used with hamza or fa can be used with hal. When fa is used with hamza, then it is always used after the hamza. And when fa is used with hal, then it is always used and written before hal. Let us study the following ayah from the Holy Quran, Surah number 26, ayah number 109. And the ayah can be translated as, I do not ask you for any reward for it. That is this message. My reward is only from the Lord of all worlds. Let us focus on the beginning of this ayah. And at the beginning, we see the use of ma. Ma is used here to create negation. Ma is followed by as'alukum. Let us break down as'alukum. The first part is as'alu. As'alu is fi'il mudare, and it is on the same pattern as sa'ala yas'alu. Sa'ala is fi'il mazi, meaning he asked, and yas'alu is fi'il mudare, meaning he asks or he will ask. Yas'alu, yas'alani, yas'aluna. Tas'alu, tas'alani, yas'alna. Tas'alu, tas'alani, tas'aluna, tas'alina, tas'alani, tas'alna. As'alu, nas'alu. So as'alu belongs to the table of fi'il mudare. As'alu means I ask or I will ask. Please note that because ma is being used before the fi'il mudare, then the translation will be in the present tense. So for ma as'alukum, the part which we have as as'alu will be translated as I ask. And that is how we see it used in the ayah as well. I do not ask. The negation is created by ma, and the translation of ma as'alu is in the present tense because of the effect of ma. Next we have kum. Kum is the maf'ul. It is a mansub personal pronoun. Ma as'alukum. I do not ask you. Please note an important learning point. To ask can mean two things. You either ask for something or you ask a question. An important rule is that when this pattern of sa'ala, yas'alu are used to ask a question, then an is added to that which is being asked about. We don't see the use of an here, but let us look at an example where an is being added because we are asking a question. An example is from Surah number 17, ayah number 85 of the Holy Quran. And they ask you about the ruh. In this case, we see وَيَسْأَلُونَكَ عَنِ الرُّوحِ. So we see the use of يَسْأَلُونَكَ, they ask you, and then we see the addition of an before what is being asked about. And the ruh is being asked about, but we see the addition of an before what is being asked about. So when we are using sa'ala yas'alu to ask a question, then an is added to that which is being asked about. On the contrary, when sa'ala yas'alu are used to ask for something, such as the example in Surah 26, ayah 109, here we see that a question is not being asked, but the reference is to something being asked for. When sa'ala yas'alu are used to ask for something, then an will not be used. And in this example, we do not see the use of an.
سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك